Hey guys, I'm Danny.
Hi, I'm Dave.
And we're from the Coronas in Ireland. And yeah, no, let me start.
Coronas in Ireland.
Yeah, it's really weird.
We are the Coronas.
We are the Coronas.
Someone please take me home. I don't think I should be alone.
Welcome to Brisbane, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Georgia.
You only touched down in Australia a few days ago. How have you found your time so far?
Great, yeah. I mean, when we left Dublin, it was so cold. It was only like a couple of degrees. When we left on Monday, and really getting into cold winter back there, and of course we got off the plane, and the weather was so amazing in Sydney. We had a couple of days off before our first show last night as well, so it was great to just see some friends and chill out and enjoy the weather and enjoy the country. And then our first show last night in Sydney was incredible, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, we were here about a year and a half ago, and we've kind of noticed a huge difference since we've come back, and there was like over 1,000 people at the show, and it was brilliant. We had so much fun.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so you were here only at the start of last year. What have you been up to since then?
Nothing, just literally waiting to come back. So just counting down the days. No, we've been really busy. We released an album at the end of last year called The Long Way, and we've been touring that all year. We had a really busy summer. We've done about 2 UK tours. We've been doing a lot in Ireland as well, and then in the summer we did a lot of festivals. We were in Europe at the end of last year as well, so we've been all over, but we love it. It's sort of just it's a bit of a whirlwind. Even though we're a couple of albums in now, it's still, sometimes we're pinching ourselves. We're standing on a rooftop here in Brisbane before our show, and it's really, really cool. We're very lucky, and we enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's talk about your latest record, The Long Way. How is it different writing and producing that album compared to the previous 3?
Well, I think the main difference was before we wrote it and started recording, we moved to London, and we'd been living in Ireland, and we'd been with an independent label, and sort of, things have been going really well for us in Ireland, and we started playing really big crowds and enjoy a lot of radio play, but we felt we needed a change. We didn't feel like we were making enough ground overseas, and so we moved to London, took that decision, and then we signed a record deal and a publishing deal, and stuff started to happen, and we wrote some better songs, and it just sort of refocused us a bit, I suppose, and I think Dave was saying earlier on, it sort of put us on the bottom of a much bigger ladder and sort of got our ambition back, and got us working harder, I suppose, and so it was great, and we love London. It's such a cool place to live, apart from anything else, and then of course we recorded with Elliot, who was amazing as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, Elliot James is a great producer, and we also were collaborating with a couple of our friends who helped write a couple of the songs and stuff as well, so yeah, it felt like a kind of step up for us, we thought.
Yeah, that's good. And you have been touring with it for a while now in the UK and Ireland. Is there one song that stands out as your favourite to perform live?
The single we have at the moment in Ireland is called The Long Way, and we did a video of it about a week ago, and our friends put it together, and we think it looks great, and the song kind of means quite a lot to us personally as well, and I think that kind of sums up kind of where we are in our life and in our music and our profession or whatever at the moment, so there's something we're really proud of that song, so that would be the one for me, I think.
It can change those, tour to tour, gig to gig. Like this tour for me, I'm really enjoying a song called What a Love, which was one of the last songs we wrote in the album, and it's just fun to play live, and the crowd sort of get involved and sing it back to you, and probably wouldn't be my favourite song when I listen to the album. I don't listen to our album ever, by the way, but live it's good fun to play,
Yeah. And I have to ask about your video clips. All of them are quite quirky and all tell different stories. I think one of my favourite is just like that with the 2 vacuum cleaners. How do you come up with all the ideas?
Well, it's funny, we'd probably be the first to admit that making music videos isn't our forte. In the early days we'd sort of get involved and help sort of produce them, but these days, we pitch out the songs to different directors, and whichever one we think is the coolest, we'll go with it. And the director of that video got back with this crazy idea about 2 Hoovers falling in love, and we were like, this is brilliant, this is amazing, so we can't take credit for that, but as we will.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone. Anyone asks, it was all us.
And since when you started in 2007, you have performed in some pretty big venues, Marley Park and Oxygen Festival as well. But you have also done some smaller, intimate gigs like you will do tonight in Brisbane. Do you have a favourite between the 2, or?
I don't know, they're kind of different, depends on, we've done some big shows that were pretty nerve-wracking, and then we've done some big shows that you feel much more comfortable than doing a small show when someone's 2 feet away from you. So it kind of depends on the venue and kind of...
It depends on the crowd as well. Yeah, lots of different things. As I say, sometimes you can do a gig for 200-300 people, and you're not really expecting it to be great, but there's just something about the atmosphere, and everyone gets really into it, and we come off stage going, that was amazing, even last night we got to Sydney and we didn't really know what to expect, and as Dave said, the crowd were much bigger than we thought, but it was just an amazing atmosphere. But like, you know, the big shows at home are sort of special to us. Like, you know, in February we played in the 3 Arena, which is a venue that we sort of grew up going to, and see, it was called something else. It was called the Point Depot, but we grew up going to that venue and seeing different bands. So getting to headline in such a big venue in your hometown is pretty special, like, you know. But we're happy to do whatever, you know. We love touring and building it up like we did in Ireland, and playing the small venues and seeing the crowds build like over time as well, you know.
And do you find that the crowds are different where you travel as well? Like back in Ireland, are they a bit more rowdy than down here, or?
Yeah, possibly. They'll probably drink more before a gig in Ireland, which is cool. I mean, but sometimes you kind of like, when you're playing a quiet song, to people to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny though. The Irish people that come to the shows here are even more Irish than the Irish at home, so they're going crazy, and you see the Aussies like going, what are these crazy guys dancing around at this show, like, you know. But it's cool. It's different in every country. Like when we tour in Europe, like, it's totally different. Like you can hear a pin drop and they're really respectful and they won't talk, or, you know, barely even go to the bar. They'll be just there at the front row listening to every word, like, and that's cool as well. But it's nice to have the atmosphere of people having a good time and dancing, because that's sort of what our songs are about as well, you know, and big choruses, and sort of we like to get people up and enjoying it, like, you know.
And recently there have been some pretty big names coming out of Ireland, yourselves, Hosier and Hudson Taylor. Are there any that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, well, there's a singer-songwriter doing amazing now called Gavin James, who's brilliant, and he's really starting to do well. And of course, as you say, Hosier, there's my sister Roisin O, who I have to mention, who's brilliant as well. I always plug it, look after the shameless plug for family. But yeah, so I mean, it is a great time for Irish music. There's great bands. There's another great band from Mullingar called The Academic. There's a band from up north called Little Hours who are doing really well, and you know, there's always a good wealth of Irish music coming through. And you know, it's funny because we always felt like a new band, and now that we've had a couple of albums and there's like a new wave of sort of bands coming through, and so we always, you know, would give them sports and mention them in interviews when we can. But yeah, I think, you know, if you just go and check it out online, you'll be surprised at the amount of serious talent there is in Ireland, like, yeah.
And you guys aren't in Australia and New Zealand for that long, but are there any things that you really want to get out there and do?
Yeah, we were just talking about this earlier on, saying that we did a tour. The last tour we did like something like 5 gigs in 6 days or something in all the different parts of Australia. So we literally didn't get to see anything other than airports. So this time we had a couple of days to acclimatise and get used to the jet lag or whatever. And we had a great time in Sydney. Went to the beach. Danny got nicely sunburned.
I won't blind your viewers with my sunburn.
And yeah, so we're here for the day. So we've got the afternoon off. I mean, there is a pool over there, so I'm not probably going to look much further than that. But
as soon as this interview is over, we're just going to go straight in. But yeah, and even in New Zealand as well, our piano player and me are going to do a bungee jump, which will be fun. So yeah, little things like that. It's cool, you know. As I say, it's nice to get away from home when the weather's so bad at home, and we get to like pretty much be on holidays and we get to do shows and everything. I mean, we're very lucky. We have a great job, you know. So it's we like to enjoy it, and also we have a lot of friends over here as well. Over the years, that, you know, different Aussies and also Irish people who are living here now as well. So it's cool to catch up with them, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And so there's not much more of 2015 left, but what can we expect from the Coronas in 2016?
Who knows? No, we've. I don't know. We're still right. We just started writing again, kind of with the view to the next album. But yeah, I don't know. We don't really know. We're just kind of like throwing a lot of ideas around. And some of the stuff we have in the moment now, the new songs sound a little different to the old stuff. So I think we're just trying to keep trying to grow and keep trying to enjoy it, and let's just kind of see where it ends up. Keep it gigging to as many places as we can. We'd like to travel around Europe, particularly.
Yeah, there's plans to go to Europe in March, and we're looking forward to getting back to there. It's been a while since we've done an extensive tour around Europe. So, and then in the summer there'll be festivals, and as Dave says, we'll be working on the new album in between that, and of course we'll have some shows back home, and hopefully we might get back here maybe at the end of next year. We've decided this is the perfect time to come when it's really cold at home and it's lovely weather here. So hopefully every December we might just show up in Oz. Yeah.
Well, we'll see you next year, I guess.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Georgia. Cheers.